What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link that also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. I'm sorry. This video though is entitled "What About When Life Gets Real?" Through all the rhetoric and ideologies that people have, whether it's men or women, what you don't talk about is when life gets real. See, life isn't about rhetoric and ideology when life happens. And some people get so caught up in these ideals and ideologies that they bring it to real life situations. Like, men are upset because women are bringing the feminist ideology to marriage. See, that's real life right there. I ain't got time for Gloria Steinem if we building a family. See, what happens when things get real? Is the rhetoric important when a baby is born? And part of the male-female issue is, part of the parenting situation in America is because two different sides have two different kinds of rhetoric, and a baby's trapped in the middle. And you want to, this is my opportunity to see if my rhetoric is the right one. And obviously that ain't working out too well in society. You got a bunch of adults that happen to become adults and all their parents have to say is, oops, my bad. I guess the rhetoric didn't work as well as I thought. You grown now. See, what about when life gets real? Is the rhetoric important in a life-altering situation, if a life or death situation, a serious illness? Do you care about the rhetoric when you're trying to get healthy? If you in chemo, you get what I'm saying? If you need a organ doned, or if you going into surgery, does the rhetoric matter? I don't think so. When life gets real, because sometimes the reason I'm even thinking this up actually is because I've seen too many times, even in my own life, where somebody brings their rhetoric and their ego into a situation that has no place there. It just has no place there. Somebody's dying, but your ideology and your ego and your rhetoric, it gets in the way. I was talking to a friend of mine. She's talking about something that happened between a gay couple. And she said one of the people got cancer and they were dying, like 4th stage terminal, right? And I guess it was a national story or whatever. I didn't know. And she was like, well, the person broke up with them while they were dying. And then after they died, that person jumped off a bridge and committed suicide in some type of way like that, and left a note that they're going to be with their lover. And she asked me, what did I think of that? And I said, well, honestly, I think that person is a very selfish narcissist, because what you're telling me is the person that they quote unquote love was dying and they left them to die by themselves. They broke their heart on their way out of this world, and then turned around and felt guilty about it, so they say. And then they gonna kill themselves to say, I'm gonna be with you. I said, so basically it was all about them, because that person can't even die in peace now, because guess what? After the funeral, I got to make it about me even in your death. Now, when you was alive and you was dying, I had to make it about me and leave you and make this situation worse. And now when you're dead, no! It's got to be about me too. Selfish. Narcissist. And she was like, wow. Like you asked the question. So, and this is what I mean by, what about when life gets real? Because people don't take these things into consideration. Everybody doesn't want to be a player for the rest of their life. Everybody doesn't want to be lonely. Everybody doesn't want to be in a revolving door of relationships with the opposite sex. And at some point, you're gonna have to put down the rhetoric and get real with your damn self. You know, and a lot of us having a hard time with that. Just in my opinion, because there's gonna come a point where you're gonna be too old to not live your life because of rhetoric, because of an ideology. You're gonna still have to take a risk, irregardless of your knowledge and ideology. You're gonna take a calculated risk with the more information you have, but you're gonna have to take a risk nonetheless. And when things get real, is it what are you talking about? Because a lot of people are stuck in this paralysis of analysis. I ain't gonna do that. 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 So ultimately, you're gonna die not doing nothing. But what happens when life gets real? When you realize, like I got friends, I ain't never having no kids. Cool. And you know what I tell them? That's your business. But you know what else I tell them? I hope you thought this through. Even with all the drama in society, even though, all of these negative co-parenting situations, you still might be one of those people in your 50s and 60s like, all I got is pictures and dead pets. And ain't nobody coming to see me for Thanksgiving. I got no family to go to. And people say, I can live with that. And the problem is, when I was younger, I saw the old people who thought like that they could live with that, and how they were happy and grateful that somebody would invite them over for the holidays, because they ain't have nobody. Is the ideology and the rhetoric important? You see a situation and you don't want it to go south, and you jumping in to help another human being. Does the rhetoric matter? Because when it gets real, no. My heart and my mind and my spirit says, help your fellow man. But the ideology saying, can't do it, not gonna be able to do it. And then you go off, maybe I was wrong. I remember that. Remember a long time ago, early 2000s, that the first Super Bowl came to Houston when the Patriots played the Panthers. Steve Smith was killing. Great game. I was riding past the side of my homeboy's car. He wasn't paying attention, but people driving reckless. Somebody cut somebody off, flipped their car over on the freeway. I was like, yo. And he was high and he didn't pay attention. So we luckily didn't get into the accident because I got to him before while his high ass could figure it out. Oh, it's an accident, right? So we get out of the car. Somebody's bumper, one of the cars like flip. And the other car just drove off. Well, Fast and the Furious. I killed somebody. I feel like Toretto. Like that. They just kept going. Ambulance came and all that other stuff. And I was under one of the cars getting the bumper out of the axle. So I unwrapped the bumper out of the axle. Another car, it was something stuck under one of the tires, like in the wheel. So I'm helping both, white lady in one car, two black women in the other. And under this current, ideology, and helping them bitches. But that shit got real. Like they was all nervous because, all three of the women basically crying, And it's like that's what happens when things get real. Been in situations where I had to break up fights, or I had to step in a gap and stop things from happening to people. And it is what it is. Sometimes I had to help people who, were in a bad circumstance. And I stood in the gap. I'm actually doing that now, to be perfectly honest. But when life gets real, you gonna not do it? Because ultimately you want somebody to do it for you. So what about when life gets real? You feel me? Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.